Welcome everybody back to the channel. It is Monster here once again, kicking off the round of 8. Not looking not looking forward to this round whatsoever, if I'm being honest. Um yeah, so this is probably my worst round. We're starting out 31st at Martinsville. I'd say that's better than where we were before, but not by much. Hoping this race kind of goes like Richmond, where, it's mostly clean, maybe with one or two yellows, but I have my doubts. Yeah, we need a good run today. We need some good strategy, so I'm going to try and play it smart, play it safe, even if I am falling back. But yeah, we have this, then Texas, and then we have Phoenix to wrap up this round before we go to the championship. So without any further ado, can we go 4 in a row? I don't know, but I guess we're going to find out. Not entirely sure why Jimmy Johnson's running his patriotic paint scheme, but we're not going to question it. Yeah, we're starting 31st today. Not looking very good for us, but hopefully we can make something out of it. And the round of 8 is green. Didn't really have a good start there in terms of the shifting and everything, but it's all good. Like I said before, we're going to try and play this smart and conservatively. So I'm not going to try and force any issues that I don't think are necessary, especially early on in the running. We'll see where we end up in all this. Excuse me a second, I just got to check something real quick. I don't want to have to re-record all this, so... Alright. Whoa, I'm sorry, cold wind. I know I said I wasn't going to be aggressive, and I just did that, and I just shoved the 6 all up in there, but... Jeff Gordon leading, maybe winning one of his final races. This was the retirement season when the game came out. So far, I think we're doing a lot better than we did the first go around here. We're already up to 27th. I think this is the highest I've ever run at Martinsville, so props to me, I guess. They're all getting all scrambled up here. That's why I tried to go to the bottom, but that's not going to work. Larson, we're going to bounce back after getting eliminated in the last round. Him and Clint Boyer right here in front of us. Oh gosh, I just hit the curb and then sent me up the track. Hold on to it, hold on to it. We're good, we're good, we're good. Whoa, Annette, what are you doing, brother? Really loose, trying to hang on to this car. I gotta try and gain all my spots back after hitting the curb and getting forced into a 4 wide there by Larson. Couldn't be that hard if I don't go up the racetrack. That was a bit of an aggressive move on my end again. Cold part of me wants to try and get up to the front because I know that Phoenix isn't going to go well. And I feel like we got some speed to get a good finish here. So I want to maybe try and take advantage of that. Because if we can win here or at Texas, then I don't have to worry about Phoenix at all. Which would be awesome. Because I know I'm going to be terrible at Phoenix, all things considered. I mean, I'm decent at Martinsville. I wasn't optimistic because of how the first race went. But so far, we've been surprisingly clean. So, it gives me optimism. If I can make some moves and stays green, we can maybe end up with a decent finish, putting us in a good spot going into Texas, where we can maybe win, because I mean, we almost won Texas earlier in the season before Regan Smith came out of nowhere. Again, one thing you don't want to do in Martinsville. Get it to the inside of the 66, couldn't quite do it. Get it back to the inside right here. On the curb, I should be able to get him. That was a bit tight. This race car at the moment. Trying to get by Trevor Bayne to get in the top 30 in this one. The inside of Paul Geyer right here. E29 up for grabs. And really sideways off the corner. Keep an eye on any competitors that I need to keep my eyes on. I don't see anybody yet. I'm gonna try and bring the brake bias up a little bit to see if that'll tighten up the car a little bit. Certainly seems to do the trick. Take it to the inside, but no avail. Again, we spin the tires out coming off turn 4. Murray gets sent up by Harvick, 3 wide. He loses out big time in that deal. Try and make a pass on the outside. It didn't work in my favor. I'm going to smack the wall coming off turn 2. Looks like we already got guys coming in for pit stops. Doesn't seem like the brake bias is helping too much. I mean, it might be making a few drive, honestly, but still trying to find a way around McMurray without hitting the curb or getting into anybody, because I feel like if this goes green all the way or for a long run, this plays into my favor quite nicely. Especially if I'm able to stretch it out long enough with fuel. McMurray going to the outside might be just what I needed to get underneath him. Or 51's in a little bit of time himself. Those two. I'm just trying to get another spot or to spin myself out. That was not what I was hoping to do. At least we got a nice little green flag run out of it, so that's not too bad. We're gonna stay out a bit, I think, on this one. I'll be right back while we... Alright, I am back. Let's see if our pit strategy plays into our hands here. Trying to stay out long. We're 1 of 7. 8th on down, decided to pit. Not sure if they're going to be able to make it. I don't think they can, but ultimately time will tell as Truex leads us back to green. And I did not get a good restart, and we're getting sent 3 wide by Junior already. A little help from, I think it was Newman, or is that Blaney? I think it was Blaney. Gosh, these guys are so impatient. Finally can slot in on the inside here, I think. Took us a while, but we're back in our groove. Slot right in front of the 42. So far the strategy isn't really helping us. We're leading a lot of spots here to these guys that pitted. Now granted, they're on a lot fresher tires than we are, but still I was hoping to be able to hang up front a little bit. Oh, Casey Mears. Bit of an aggressive move there on the 31 of Newman, but he's able to hold his spot anyway. All guy are getting aggressive with Boyer. Send him all the way to the racetrack. The 20, no, 26, I thought it was going to peel off right there, and I just bumped Boyer right in front of Newman. Apologies for that, but 2 free spots, can't complain with that. At least for the time being, anyway. Now it looks like the 26 is going to peel off to pit road, making his stop. My plan is to try and run as far as we can go and then see where that puts us at the end of this thing. Because I am confident the guys that just pitted under that yellow are not going to be able to make it to the finish. But if we pit, we should be able to get to the end, no matter what. So that's kind of my play here. Now whether that results in us getting a win or not, don't matter. As long as I get a solid finish out of it, like a top 10 or a top 15, I won't be complaining. Ooh, getting aggressive there on the 2 of Keselowski. Of course, Brad's also running for a championship. Gotta be mindful of that. Right in front of Menard, but thankfully we had an opening to get there. I wasn't planning on sliding in front of him, but still. I get to the inside of Keselowski. He's going to stay up there, thankfully. Just trying to hang on to the car till we get to our pit stop here in the next few laps, I would imagine. Just outside the top 10 with our strategy right now. Of course, I think we're the furthest back of the guys that decided to stay out right here, right now. If Truex stayed out, he's still leading. At the very least, we can maybe take 2 tires and fill it up. Because I think we should be good on the left side. They're still relatively clean, I would say. That can get us to the finish. Just the right sides I'm worried about. Another spot here on McMurray. We're going to get him here in 3. Hopefully. Door him a little bit. To do to get by. I think Allgaier got put down a lap, I believe. Ooh, that was a risky block. Murray did get there. I just blocked a little late. Regan Smith spinning them tires up there. We've got about 30 to go this time for Truex. Trying to run down the 2 and the 7 right now. I feel like if we can get into the top 10 before we come in, I would say that's a big win. Now, whether that results in us actually getting there at the end with pit strategy or not, I don't know, but only time will tell. But I think we got ourselves a top 10 capable car at the very least. If we aren't going to win this thing. Pass. Oh, Brad's gonna get the run off. I don't want to try and push it too hard on the throttle coming off the corner. starting to think maybe I underestimated these guys, if they were going to make it or not. Oh, aggressive move on the 2. Little bump and run sort of deal there for top 10 running position. Maybe I underestimated the guys in the pit a little bit, because they actually might be able to make it, I think. I'm starting to wonder if I'm on the wrong end of this. Logano's gone a lap down. Try and run as long as Truex, if not maybe a lap longer, depending when he pits, obviously. Looks like he's gonna... No, I thought he was gonna pit right there. He slowed up a little bit. Oh, now the 78 peels off, so I'm gonna pit next lap then. At the very least, I believe I'll cycle ahead of Truex. That's if the 2's not beating my back bumper off when I'm trying to get to pit road. Way too slow. No, I don't think we'll need compared to me. Maybe a splash will get us to the end. I don't know. I definitely feel like I kind of was way too slow coming in, but I guess that was me being cautious. Okay, we've gone 2 laps down to the leader now. And Truex is right in front of us, so... Of the strategy, we're basically right behind who could be the leader. Not for sure the leader, but it really depends on how the rest of these guys manage, if they can make it to the end or what have you. But I'm confident they're probably going to make it to the end if I had to guess. Alright, well there's the 48. That's one of our main rivals right now for the championship. We just passed him. I get the outside of the 78 for what could maybe be the lead. I don't know. Might get a few other spots. I mean, some of these guys are probably a lot slower. I see the 98's losing some time to us. But even if we don't win this race or get a good finish, my main goal at this very moment in time is to probably keep this 48 behind me as best as I can, because at the very least that's a chase contender that I'm gonna beat. But see shapes up here. So the 5 isn't too far up the road, I can tell on the map. If we can catch him and get one of our laps back, I mean, I know it's not really going to do much at the end of the day, but could be good if we get a yellow, as unlikely as that may sound. Hold on to optimism right now. See the 5 up the road, I can see him. My main question is now, are we going to be able to get any more spots before the end of this race? Does anybody have to come to pit road? We're just going to run these guys down because we're running the 98 down. The question is, are we even going to get to them in time? That's the thing. There's a chance we might not get to Josh Wise. Oh, Jimmy. Well, we picked the wrong strategy, and it's ultimately going to give us a bad result. But I can hang my hat on the fact that I beat the 48 at the very least. So, it's not over yet, but at least with how things are running right now, it's looking that way. It's looking like Casey Kane's going to punch his ticket into the championship 4. Unless we get a yellow, which is very unlikely at this point. And it looks like we're about to get the white flag. I would imagine so, because we were 2 laps down. Yep, there's the white flag. Casey Kane has taken it. Jimmy goes way up the racetrack behind us. Casey Kane's going to win at Martinsville. He's going to the championship 4. And we're able to hold on to a 36th, which isn't great. But we did at least beat the 48. I know it's only one championship driver, but it's something. So let's see where everybody else finished here. Yeah, it was only me and the 48 that finished off the lead lap, I believe, of the chase guys, yeah. Yeah, I ultimately just picked the wrong strategy. I feel like I probably should have pitted. Maybe we could have made some spots, but yeah, this definitely cost us big time. Casey Kane, Kurt Busch, Dale Jr. all up there, Kyle Busch, Keselowski. Man, now it's not going to look good for us in the standings. I will say, though, that even though we finished 36th, we definitely did not have that kind of speed. Definitely had a lot better pace, I would say. But yeah, we're 7th now, and there you see Casey Kane is locked in with his win at Martinsville. Busch, Earnhardt, and Busch currently above the cut line. 3 points right now separates the 18 and the 2 for the final spot in the championship. And, well, yeah, that's really about it. So next race is Texas, probably our best shot into the championship. So until then, y'all have a good one.